So in this video we will be seeing about the sequential controller. So what is the purpose of a sequential controller? Sequential controller means that name itself, it tells that it does the work in a sequence, in a step by step manner. So this sequential controller, it is of two types. One is time based, the other one is event based. So in a time based, for example, consider this water heating element. So in the tank, the heating coil is kept. So after once the tank gets filled up, the heating coil have to start. So once the water is heated, it has to send through the pump to the pipes. So it takes place in a time. So for example, consider that for filling up the tank we need some 5 minutes. Okay, after 5 minutes the heating coil have to start. So it can take some 5 minutes to heat up the water. So after 5 minutes the water has to be sent to the pump. So this is based on time. So for every work there is a particular time. And but the major disadvantage of this system is it cannot we cannot know that whether the process is completed or not. So once when the motor is switched on and there is no water, but still even after 5 minutes the heating coil, whether the water is present or not, after 5 minutes the heating coil starts heating, and after 5 minutes the water has to be pushed out. So when there is no water, what is the purpose of a heating coil? But this system, it doesn't knows about that. Once the 5 minutes is completed after the switching on of the motor, the heating coil starts heating. So this results in some damage of the system, or like it gets wasted. So this is not actually a suitable sequential controller. So to overcome this is next it came up with a event based sequential controller. So until or unless one event is completed, the other event will not takes place. So the very basic example we can take for this is a washing machine. So this diagram, it shows about the 4 cycles that takes place in a washing machine. So it starts with a pre-wash cycle, main wash cycle, rinse cycle and a spinning cycle. So in a pre-wash cycle, the cloths in the drum are given with a wash in a cold water. So once if the pre-wash cycle is completed only, next it starts with the hot water, washing the cloths in hot water. So once the hot water cloths are washed in the hot water, the cloths are rinsed with cold water a number of times. So we are rinsing. So once the rinse is completed, it goes with the spinning. So it is based on the event. Until or unless one event is completed, the other event doesn't start. So this is about the event based. Here a brief explanation about what are the system components in a washing machine. So this is the major control one, where there is an analog and digital converter, a timer, CPU, PWM controller, that is actuators and motors, and programmer. So keyboard for setting. So what are the key things we'll be having? We'll be having a speed selection, time set, hot water or cold water, water regulation, drying time, temperature. And the actuators, it will be of cold water valve, hot water valve, motor direction, dryer, blower, buzzer. And sensors, it may be of a door temperature sensor, door switch, water level and pressure. And the last one will be of a display board for status. So whether it is there is no water, means it shows some error signal, and if it is it will be keep on showing the time. So nowadays we don't want to predefine the things also. If we select one, if we select a wash, type of wash, for example a daily wash, it has some predefined temperature and rinse and a spin cycle. So nowadays everything is of very developed. So this event based controller is very much useful than that of a time based controller. So the next one is about microprocessor based controllers. So we saw about feedback signal, sequential controllers, and next one is about microprocessor based controllers. So here for example I have taken this PLC block diagram. So PLC is nothing but programmable logic controller. So with the help of the computer we are controlling the machines. So that is about the PLC. So we'll be having an input module, a processor and an output module. So this is the basic requirement for any system. And for input module, like a push button, contact switches, etc., these are given as an input. And the processor, it does some process. So there is a programming device. We will be writing some programs to control the machines, either to open the valve or to close the valve, or like many programs can be done. Timers, so for how many times the cylinder have to move forward and backward, or for all these things we will be having. So the power supply is given, there is a process along with which a programming device, and there is an output module. So once the process is completed, the signal is given to the output. So to output there will be contact as alarms, etc. This is about a microprocessor based controllers. And the next one is applications of a mechatronic systems. So for example, first one we can take with the SIM, that is computer integrated manufacturing. So in a SIM, the components present are CAD, computer aided drawing, processing, manufacturing and quality checking. And there is also a manufacturing unit where there is a manufacturer resource planning, project planning and control, material resource planning, job and time sheet, order release, manufacturing control. So these are the components of a computer integrated manufacturing. So the activities from the right definition of the products to their shipping and even product support after sales. So this is the main thing of a computer integrated manufacturing. So everything is of computer based, either the drawing or a manufacturing or the quality checking, everything is based on the computer. And the next application is about the FMS, that is flexible manufacturing system. So FMS is based on one or more of CNCs, and it consists of CNC machines, tool handling systems, online inspection systems, part handling equipment and several interconnected individual machines. The FMS incorporates many individual automation systems and technologies. So it takes care of computer control, independent movement of parts, limited buffer storage between machines and interface with the secondary work handling systems. So this is about the flexible manufacturing system. So this diagram, it shows about a typical manufacturing system, and it is characterized sequentially arranging. So how the workflow is, whether input and output. So computer control system, there is a workpiece storage, material flow, transport of workpieces, machining, transport of tools, tool storage, material flow. So how the flexible manufacturing takes place, how the flow takes place. So everything is done with the help of a system. And so this is also one of an example of a mechatronic system. So this is about the control systems and applications of a mechatronics. Thank you.